Howdy, 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 folks. Welcome to this edition of Sticks-n-Stonez. As always, no, I don't need picture in picture. You don't want any more of this lovely face than you already have. So, I got a great pairing today. I got everything lined up. Everything's working smooth. I'm just waiting on X to pop up on my old phone so that I can see myself. Notifications, I bet that's where it's at. On stream live. I don't think that's it. That looks like it right there. Wow. Man, I just love it when a plan comes together. I'm going to turn the little focus there, the little face checker thing on so it'll keep moving with me. If it's, it may be dead. If not, it's fine. I don't care. Yeah, it is. All right. Anyway, so I hope everybody's having a great weekend. I'm a day late. I normally do this on Saturday. It's on Sunday. Just couldn't get it together yesterday. But anyway, it's going to be a great pairing. You're going to love it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Why is this phone not staying on, even though I have the live stream going? It's because I hadn't full screened it. There we go. Yep, that's it. There's a few second delay, so I'm looking for what movements I made. Make sure, because I am wearing my Sticks-n-Stone shirt. It's the one that's got "Here I Am, Send Me" with the desert camo soldier on the back. Go to the Amazon store, you'll love that. It's my biggest selling item. It's just got the American flag and Sticks-n-Stones on the front, and on the back it's got the Bible verse Isaiah 6:8. The Lord asked, "Who shall I send and whom should go for us?" And it's got the desert soldier M4, and underneath it it says, "Here I am, Lord, send me." That's paraphrased. Anyway, you'll love it. Amazon store, Sticks-n-Stones. Let's get right into it, though. All right. And when it comes to premium pairings, there's there's just a harmony between a really fine cigar and a well-crafted bourbon that can elevate both to unforgettable heights. Those of you that, and I'm trying not to look at my face, I try to look up here at the screen so it doesn't look like I'm looking at your boobs. Four Roses single barrel is what I'm pairing today. And La Aroma de Cuba Noblesse. Oh man, I was so happy when these showed up, and I've been wanting to smoke these for so long. They are premium cigar, and they're hard to get a hold of, and they're pricey. This one today, now while the bourbon is very budget friendly, these you got to stretch on these, but they are well worth it. This is such a pairing where the craftsmanship and the complexity and the balance all kind of converge for this like really richly rewarding experience. And each is distinguished in its own right, of course. And they just kind of unfold in like layers of complementary flavor that enhance the best in each other. So without further ado, now that I've given it such a rousing welcome, let's go to the Four Roses single barrel. Four Roses is one of my favorite bourbons. I just think they do a really great job in basically all of their bourbons that I've tried. I still have not tried all of them. Some of them are super hard to get, or they're up out of my, normal price range. So, but this is a Kentucky bourbon. Hang on. Love that sound. The Mashbill is 60% corn, 35% rye, and 5% malted barley. It is 50% alcohol by volume, 100 proof. So it's, once you hit the triple digits, it's getting up there. Four Roses is, the single barrel is known for its consistency and its elegance. each expression has its own kind of subtle nuances because you're talking about a single barrel. So what's in this bottle, however many barrels that you were able to get out of that, how many bottles you were able to get out of that barrel, and then you have another barrel over here that you got, basically the same number of bottles out of. Where you try two of those, they might be just a little bit different. They have those subtle nuances. That's one thing that makes whiskey in general so interesting. It's like the Scotch and the Scotch making regions where they are just wildly different, depending on what region you're in. You go from Islay to Highland or Speyside, they're completely different. But the profile generally will deliver a kind of a robust mix of ripe cherries, vanilla, cinnamon, maybe some cocoa and some oak in there. The high rye content will add a crisp and kind of spicy edge that will be balanced with a more creamy mouthfeel and a long, warm finish. Don't we all love long, warm finishes, right? That's what she said. Now on the nose. Starting already. Just to smell, just the aroma, you can't tell that it's a triple-digit proof. I mean, it really smells, now I don't want to say mild in a bad way, but just nice and gentle and kind of warming and engaging. You get some notes of like dark fruit and some caramel. There's a little hint of pepper in there, kind of indicative of the rye spice. Oh, visually, it's just a beautiful spirit. It's a really nice copper color. There happens to be just a little bit of kind of reddish tinge to it, which I typically don't associate with rye. I more associate it with wheat and some of the red wheats that is used. I think Maker's Mark uses a red wheat. But this one does have just a slight tinge of red to it. Now, on the palate. You get like layers of baking spices and honey and a nice subtle oakiness. There's a little bit of dried citrus peel in there, and just a really kind of creamy mouthfeel. But at the same time, it does have a significant amount of spice to it because of the higher rye content. That really adds some pepper to not only the sip, but then also the finish. Around the outside edge of your tongue, mine are still got a little bit of peppery burn to them. Not a lot, but a little. And it does have a really long finish. It's a really great spirit. I haven't had the single barrel in a while. I've got a bottle of small batch on my shelf right now. But when I saw this at the package store, I'm like, oh, sorry. Back. Oof. Went the wrong way. Oh, okay, I'm going to have to slump during this one. All right, yeah, I got 3 degenerating discs in my lower back. And yeah, you hit them just right. Not good. But anyway, I forgot where I was at. No, I was at the package store. And I had, they have if you spend this much, you can buy a bottle of, the allocated stuff or whatever. And it's actually the store that I do hit for stuff like that. They're generally you have to spend this much price is pretty low. It's like $40. So you can't go in there and, just buy a fifth of Jack Daniels. But this Four Roses single barrel was $52. And so while I was spending that, I got my 40 hit. So I got another bottle of E.H. Taylor small batch, the Bottle and Bond, which is has become much more available here of late. It was 65, and I've seen various places around the country on some of the bourbon pages I go to that they show the receipt for them picking it up somewhere, and it's been right around in there. The first bottle of E.H. Taylor I bought a couple of years ago is like $125, so it's dropped nearly 50%. It's the same bottle, but still, depending on where you go, like some of the Wellers are super hard to get. It's just when they get stuff put out, I think there is a lot of kind of storing it up and making a demand and then dribbling it out, getting those high prices. And then they finally just like, all right, we got to get it out there. That's the way it is. That is a really, really great just sipping whiskey. I mean, you might be able to, I don't even know if you could open the nose up on it anymore with just a touch of water. I mean, it's possible. But, I mean, that's just right out of the bottle. Is great on the nose, great on the palate, and is a wonderful experience. It really is. But let's move on, because this is the one thing that I am very excited about, and that is the La Aroma de Cuba Noblesse. I'm watching the Mets and the Giants. I'm not a fan of either one, but it happened to be on. And I saw the picture. He looked like he was holding a little puppy dog in his hand, and it was his glove. I thought it was a dog. What's he doing with the dog out on the field? Anyway, the Noblesse has a filler and binder. Sorry, that's Nicaraguan. They're from the My Father Farms. It is wrapped in a very, very beautiful Ecuadorian Habano Rosado. And again, this comes from the My Father factory in Esteli. I was watching the YouTube documentary on Cuban cigars yesterday, and they were not pronouncing Esteli exactly the way I do. But anyway, you know where I'm talking about, Esteli. This is a medium to full strength cigar. This particular Vitola, they call it the Viceroy. It's 6.125 or 6 1/8, something like that, by 52 on the ring gauge. It does have the the torpedo-y end, but it is also at the same time like a soft box press. It's flat up here. It's got curved outsides, where typically a soft box press will be square on the sides, but just have the rounded corners, where these do have a curve on the sides. But anyway, it's kind of a soft box press. Visually, it is a beautiful stick. It's a medium brown. Sorry, I'm probably going to do that a few more times before it's over with. Kind of a medium brown. Okay, I think that's a seam. I say that it has tight yet nearly invisible seams. Kind of moderate to medium veining. There's not a whole lot of veining on it. It does have one really large vein. I can see it there showing up on the camera. That's the most pronounced one. All the rest, you might be able to pick those up, and you might not. But there's just very minimal veining. This is some really good leaves here, and it's got the beautiful cap that actually looks like it might have some tooth in it. So that's going to be interesting. Now, on the nose. I get some really nice hints of kind of a dark chocolate, a little bit of earthiness. There's some creaminess and maybe some hay mixed in there. There are some definite notes of barnyard, a touch of cedar, and then also just a little hint of baking spice kind of in the background. Wonderful smelling cigar. Now, I do this, I say this, I think pretty much every week. I do this because I'm here at the No Shoes Bar and Grill, where I am the Grand Master. Don't do this at the cigar shop. Yeah, don't do that and use their cutter. Using your cutter, that's fine. Dude. Oh, I'm going to have to get me an ergonomic chair for out here. All right. Use my Cassetti multi-cutter. Beautiful V-cut. I'm not much of a guillotine guy. If you've watched a lot of my episodes, I'm into my 5th season now. I prefer the V-cut. That's just my preference. In some cases, depending on the type of cigar, you have to use one way or another. But I'll use a guillotine. This one actually has all three. It's got a V, a guillotine, and then the punch at the end. I used to punch all the time, and then I got into the V-cuts, and I just like those better. But it's really personal preference, unless for whatever reason that particular cigar, like you can't punch this cigar. It just won't work. So you have to either V-cut it or guillotine. So, but anyway, let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and, I hope this band comes off this little, yeah, because I'm going to put this in my cigar log book. Yeah. This is one of those that you have to do that with. Now, on the cold draw. I get cocoa and leather. Maybe some hints of licorice and a touch of nuttiness. Not a specific nut, just kind of a nuttiness. Kind of the same thing with, there's a wood aspect, but it's not a particular wood. And then there is just a touch of kind of a raisiny kind of sweetness there, kind of underlying as well. Now, if you don't know that much about La Aroma de Cuba, the Noblesse is one of the brand's most refined offerings. I mean, it really is. Blended by, now I knew I found out I was saying this wrong on that Cuban cigar documentary on YouTube. And that is Jose Pepin Garcia. I'd always said Pepin. Pepin. They don't put the little thing up there, but you got to put the emphasis there. Pepin. So, and he even did a little bit of interviewing. They interviewed him a little bit during this. You got to hear from the Fuentes. You got to hear from the Garcias. You got to hear from, I'd never heard of the cigar brand, but is a Cuban brand. They interviewed a lot of the different. Rocky Patel was on there. So it was a really great documentary. I mean, it was a professional. It wasn't just somebody sitting down and telling you about it. It's like an hour and a half long. It's a really good documentary. Just look for Cuban cigar documentary on YouTube. You'll find it. But it carries a very luxurious kind of regal profile, both in the way it looks and in the way it tastes. Let's go ahead and get it fired up here and just see what we got. While I'm doing this, be sure and tell your friends, because we're looking really good on the count on X. I haven't even looked. I can't even look at YouTube. So. That's delicious. Kind of right away, you get this kind of sweet burst of kind of wet cedar. And then you get a little bit like florally spice, kind of a florally herbally kind of thing. There's a little bit of nougat, like Three Musketeer bars in the center part of it. And then also, I think there's a little bit of Hang on, let me try it again here. I pick up a little bit of leather. And some really nice, kind of like, maybe like some subtle, like baking spices that just really kind of mold together to make, oh, it's like you were making a really great cake or cookie or something like that. Really good. Produces a really thick volume of smoke. I get some leather and maybe a little bit of white pepper on the retrohale. I can tell you right away that this may be a medium to full strength cigar. It is not a hard hitting cigar. So I don't think, in my personal opinion, that you'd be able to really pair it with one of the hard hitting, high proof whiskeys. I think they'd overpower it. I think something like this, something along the lines of Maker's Mark, somewhere in there, maybe some nice scotches. The Dalmore 12 comes to mind. I think it'd make an excellent pairing for this cigar. You want something that is easy enough to blend with it, but not overtake it and overshadow it. You don't want to spend this much money on a cigar and then not be able to get any of the flavors off of it because the spirit that you're drinking is just washing it all away, just overpowering it. Also on the finish, I think I'm picking up just a touch of cocoa. It's a little cocoa in the finish there as well. This is one of those that you really want to sit around in the afternoon and like really you're going to spend 55 minutes or so on a cigar and you're going to cherish every moment. Yeah. Mm. It's got flawless construction. It's got, to me, it's got a really good, really good straight burn line. I get those, people that say, "Oh, it's got a razor straight burn line on this cigar, that cigar." Like it's a natural product. It's going to have waves. It's going to have waves. So I think that's, you can kind of consider that, razor straight for that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, we're not here for all that. We're here for the pairing. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Yeah. I'm going to make it wait a second. Mm. And if you haven't watched me before, you see me put the smoke in the glass thing. It doesn't mean anything. Just to me, I feel like it gives me the smallest amount of time between when the puff is expelled out of my mouth and the sip goes in. Whereas if I'm doing this, I feel like there's that little gap in there, and I'm really trying to tell you how these go together. So I want to make sure I'm getting it right. So, but again, I've never seen anybody else do it. Matter of fact, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody else do it. It could be just me, which means you can only get this exclusively here. Oh, there went the back again. All right. Anyway, where are we at? Now together, these really do resonate in balance and contrast. I mean, they are really good together. Really good. Just like I was saying a minute ago about you don't want to overpower. Neither one of these overpowers the other. They work really well together. The Four Roses complement the kind of creamy, woody richness of the cigar perfectly. The bourbon offers a boldness and a heat, and the cigar kind of cools it down with a palate that's, got kind of the silky cedar and creaminess and a nice nutty depth to it. You're getting, the kind of florally sweetness and the kind of baking spice kind of thing. And then you get this kind of burst of almost like a cherry and cinnamon. So again, that's a baking spice. So, and then you kind of had a woodiness from both that kind of melds together. It just, everything just kind of comes together exactly the way you're really wanting it to. And we're at 25 minutes. We're already an inch in. Of course, I spent the first 5 or 6 minutes goofing off. But I think we're doing really good on burn time. The Noblesse is not always available. When it is, if you're looking at the online retailers, they're going to be somewhere around $4 or more per box. Yeah, you can hear my doorbell going off, the 95-pound Shetland pony in there. I said I had this game on, but I wasn't really watching it. I was, more concerned with what I was doing here. Man, the Giants are just putting it on. They're up by 8 runs. It is the bottom of the ninth, so, it's almost over. Anyway. And college football season is not far away. Whoop, whoop. Ready for football. American football. European football is about to kick off too. My Bayern Munich Reds, they had a friendly yesterday, I believe. Yeah, it was yesterday. And they won. But yeah, very excited for both those. And in the NFL, we're just excited for balls. That's what we're excited for, balls. That's what she said. But yeah, if you find the boxes online retailers, they're going to run you, 4 or 5 large. I have never seen them available, and I frequent 4 or 5 different cigar shops in the area. I've never seen them for sale by the stick. There could have been a time early on when I wasn't concentrating on, before I ever started the show and everything, that I might have seen them and looked at the price and went, I ain't buying that. Oh yeah, you're going to pay $25, $30 a stick. Yeah. But dudes and dudettes, it's well worth it. And I wish they were giving me a commission off of this. Because I'm thoroughly delighted. And don't get me wrong, I do test smoke, so I already have an idea about what's going to happen. It's kind of like wrestling. I already have an idea about what's going to happen before it happens. It's Diamond Dallas Page. I know we're wandering kind of all over the place, but isn't that what just hanging out and smoking cigars is all about? I think it was Diamond Dallas Page back in the day when I used to watch wrestling. And it's Hulk Hogan, God rest his soul. Couldn't believe it when he passed away. Somebody asked him, is wrestling fake? And he had a really great answer. He said, if you remember, that question was posed one way or another to Hulk Hogan back in the 80s and by Geraldo Rivera. And Hulk Hogan, I can't remember if he punched him or he body slammed him and leg dropped him. He did something, ended up breaking his nose, all kinds of stuff. Diamond Dallas Page was much more, you know, a little more menial, not menial, but, you know, he was very much more professional about his answer. He said, well, I'll say this. When we go in the ring, we know who's going to win. And we know what moves are going to be win. So it's scripted. He said, but I'll tell you this. You can't fake gravity. That's some powerful words right there. And he went on to say, never underestimate the fact that this sport entertainment is hard on your body, because it is. He said, you're doing this 270 nights a week. I mean, 270 nights a week. That would be my work schedule. 270 nights a year. You've always got tendonitis or a muscle strain or bruises or whatever. It's because you can't fake gravity. When you fall, it hurts, especially if you're falling from 7 or 8 feet with some force. And then, you know, one of the Harts, not Bret Hart, it's like his cousin or his nephew or something like that, was doing a stunt where he zip line down from the rafters of whatever Coliseum they were in. And something happened and it gave way. And he went chest first into the ring post and he died right there in front of everybody. Yeah, can't fake that. Oh no, that post went in his chest. He died right there. But they do rehearse. They do. They actually go in with each other and talk about what moves they're going to do when, and you know, it's all kind of to build the excitement to the win. So, you know, anyway, I can't even remember where I was going with that, but you know. Now we're in a different game. My Rangers, they've been on some winning ways here lately. I'm really happy about that. Go Rangers, man. Maybe their second half of the season will be a lot better than the first. They've had some really great pitching. Not a lot of defense. And they got some home run hitters. They got some guys that can hit some home runs. I don't watch a tremendous amount of baseball. And hey, I want to tell you something. While I just happen to be looking at this. This is now as close as you can get to Razor Straits. You can still see a little bit of wave in there, but man, that has straightened out like crazy. I'm very excited to see that. I hate to tap this ash off because, you know, I mean, but I do love to tap ash. And I'd like to see how long it hangs on. I'm generally not lucky in that regard, and it ends up in my lap. I don't like that. Usually it happens on camera. Oh, here we are. Rangers and the Mariners. We're down by 1 in the top of the third. All right. Now we got a game going. That one dropped. Base hit. All right. Now we got 1 on. 1 on and 2 out. I'll talk all good about them, and then they'll wind up getting like ripped today. Shit. Sorry about that. Back is a terrible thing to have hurting. It's just been a little sore, but I don't know, something about in this chair. I'm going to have to talk to Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez and get us some new furniture for out here. Something a little more ergodynamic for my back. Oh, hey, if you really want to do me a favor, go on to X or Insta and say, you know, Sticks-n-Stonez, what you really need outside is like a tiki bar kind of thing where you can do your shows. Do that. Don't say anything about I told you to. Just do it. Because I'm trying to get her to let me have a tiki bar out here, and then I can close it in. And like right now when it's 99 degrees outside, or in the wintertime when it's like 35 outside, and I can do my shows from an indoor thing that I can have heated and cooled. Help me out. Come on, stoners. Help an old boy out. This cowboy needs a he shed in his backyard. I've almost finished that dram. That's a really good spirit. I've been kind of talking a lot about the Noblesse, but Four Roses is nowhere near the oldest spirit around. I think it's been around since like 1888 or so, but they do make a really good spirit. And I do believe, I'd have to go back and check the history. I think at some point it may have like closed down for a period of time, but then it was revived later, but they still claim the original date. I mean, it does help because a lot of people look like Buffalo Trace, 1795 or something like that. It's like the oldest distillery in America. Hardcore whiskey connoisseurs love age. They love distilleries that have been around a long time. They love spirits that are aged a long time, me included. And yeah, so you gotta do what you can. And that's I think been one of the detractors of Maker's Mark. They've been making a lot more gains lately because people are really finding out how good they are, but they've only been around since like the 1950s. And that, there's a lot of whiskey drinkers out there that they're like, if it's not prior to 1900, I ain't drinking it. If they ain't been doing it for over a century, I'm not messing with it. They may not actually say that, but that's kind of what's going on in their head. As you know, all right, look here, I'm gonna do this. Look here. The ash fell right onto the edge of my herf. It didn't go in my lap. And I could just flip it right on into the, sorry for that, but anyway. Okay, yeah, I can see it. And you can see the pool toys in the background. It's still pool season here in Texas. It probably will be until sometime in September. And that's when the daytime highs might be warm enough for you to swim, but it gets too cool at night, and the water can't get warmed up enough. Our pool has to be, it really has to be like 85, 86 degrees, or it's kind of too cold. But anyway, we're at the halfway mark here. So the cigar's body, as we've gone along, has kind of thickened up a little bit with some espresso to add to the kind of earthiness, and that's been kind of echoed with the bourbon's kind of deeper caramel and oaky notes. The rye spice in the spirit has kept everything lively, because there's a difference between like baking spice and rye spice. Baking spice are great flavors on your palate. Rye spice is what gives it its zip and its zing, and it's what has really helped to keep this pairing lively and bright, I guess you'd say. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this band off now that we're there. I could have probably waited a little while, let it heat up the band a little more, but I got it off without error. So, and this does allow you to see the, I don't know if you can see it on camera or not. My glasses are not really made for that. But anyway, you can see the seam after you take the band off. You can see it was a little more visible under the band. Still putting off just a great volume of smoke. They're still doing excellent together. This is probably one of my best pairings. I still think I claim the best pairing ever is the Dalmore 12-year-old Scotch with Rocky Patel 60 cigar, but this is right up there with them. This is rivaling up at the top. It's up in the top 2 or 3 already, and we're not even done yet. I thought there was something on me. It was a little bug, like not a ladybug, but pretty close. I didn't like freak out and scream like a girl. The grown. All right, I gotta have a thirst quencher. It's 99 outside. Yeah, can't help it. It's hot. Fortunately, I'm not so hot that it's showing through my t-shirt. I got the ceiling fan on, so it helps, but it also blows the smoke around. So you can't really see really how good the smoke volume is. But I'll tell you this, outside of this cigar, La Aroma de Cuba, as they make some excellent sticks. The Passion is excellent. It's pretty easy to get. The Mi Amor is an excellent cigar. It is easy to get. Sadie barks at everything. Bird may have, or squirrel may have ran across the sidewalk. Ran across the driveway. When I'm looking at retiring, we're thinking about buying some property out in the country a little bit from DFW, and building a house, having a few acres. And I want a shop where I can have my indoor man cave, and I don't have to have interruptions like a dog barking, or you may not be able to. I don't know, you may be able to hear the kids over the fence. Want to be able to concentrate. Want to be able to talk to you people. The Four Roses, you would really not know that it's 100 proof, other than you get just that little bit of higher octane alcohol burn, and not much, just a little. I've paired the Wild Turkey 101, and it is 101 proof as opposed to 100 proof. 1 proof difference. So 0.5% alcohol by volume difference. And it is much stronger and overpowering. You really have to have a cigar that can keep up with that one. I paired it with an Arturo Fuente. I think it may have been the Don Carlos. And they went okay together, but I do think that all right, Texas is up now 2-1. We were down 1-0 when I started watching. But I do think the spirit kind of overpowered the cigar a little bit, and really didn't let the really great flavor profiles of the Don Carlos come out. But I'll be pairing that one again. And now I know, you're going to have a lot stronger profile cigar to go with that spirit. It's good spirit, don't get me wrong. But moving back to the La Aroma de Cubas, they also have the Reserva. Reserva is pretty much always available. And that would be something that you could probably find in a lot of cigar shops. Definitely find them, in the online retailers. But they really do make an excellent cigar. And pretty much anyone you try, you're going to like, I'm pretty sure. But I've got the Passion, I've got the Mi Amor, I've got the it's like the Especial or something like that, and I've got the Reserva. All great cigars. There's not a lot of cigars that I smoke that I can't say are not really good cigars. I only smoke, the premium hand rolled. I don't buy any of the Swisher Sweets or anything like that. I even tend to stay away from the ones that you see that you don't recognize the name, or you'll get like they'll be wanting to say a bundle of like 50, and there'll be a whole bunch of different manufacturers, bands in there, and you're like, I have no idea who any of these people are. I'm like, yeah, I could possibly be missing out on something really good, but I really kind of stick with the ones that I recognize, even if that can be some that are less, they're less well known, but who they're made by is very well known. And there are those, it's like Drew Estate. Drew Estate makes a lot of cigars. They make all kinds of cigars. Of course, they have the acid line and the Java line, and I can see them. They have the legends, but anyway, he makes all different kinds of cigars, and some of them you wouldn't even know that he makes them unless you read deep into that particular cigar, and you're like, oh, these are made by Drew Estate. I didn't know that. Not everything he makes is like infused kind of things. He's a very eclectic individual, and he loves that stuff. But he can make some really great cigars. I love the Javas. I'll freely admit it. I like the coffee infused cigars. Some of the purists may be like, not having that fused crap. Those are some really good cigars. They're really good cigars. Oh no, 2-run dinger. Damn. Now we're behind again, 3-2. Off to Grom. That's terrible. All right, I'm just going to put a little bit more. Not a lot, but a little bit. We did go to brunch before I came out here, and I had eggs Benedict and some home fries. So I got something layered down here. And now he's carrying Aquaman's trident around with him. Okay, whatever. That sucks. That really sucks. We're kind of getting close to the end, and I know we're hitting close to 50 minutes, so I don't want to keep y'all any longer. Kind of as we've gotten closer to the end of the cigar, both are kind of going out on like a really rich note. There's been some dry cocoa and some spice from the cigar. There's kind of a lingering vanilla oak combination there from the bourbon, and the harmony is like nearly perfect. Full flavored, but by no means overwhelming. This pairing, kind of as I said early when we started this, it exemplifies why premium cigars and spirits continue to be like a favored ritual among like the really discerning palates, the enthusiasts of these items like me. Both the Four Roses single barrel and the Aroma de Cuba Noblesse, they really kind of share, like a philosophy of craftsmanship and flavor complexity and refinement. If you appreciate depth without harshness, and complexity without clutter, this is for you. This is a really, really great pairing. Sip slowly, smoke patiently, take your time. I said, like 55 minutes in the beginning, and we're getting there. We're almost there. let all the layered flavor profiles kind of do the rest for you. You know, enjoy it. Overall, as far as balance goes, I'd say 9.5 out of 10. Um, for the flavor harmonies, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. And I think I would do that for complexity as well. For satisfaction, I'd give it a straight 10 out of 10. No doubt about it. Whether you're, finishing off a long day, just wanting something to relax with, or you're celebrating a special occasion, marrying together the Four Roses single barrel and the La Aroma de Cuba Noblesse, it is a classic and compelling experience that is definitely worth your time. I hope you have enjoyed this pairing as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, do all that, ring all the bells and all the whistles, all that kind of stuff. And share the chiznit out of it, because that's how I grow. And I of course, I love growth. Wider, the wider bucket of stoners to see this, and I really appreciate all of the following. Go see, as I said in the beginning, Sticks-n-Stonez store on Amazon. Sticks-n-Stonez. You get the this shirt that is my Here Am I, Send Me. I had a little problem with Amazon and them trying to think I had I might have been infringing on a copyright, but I got another one coming out. I have another one out right now that is, it's another kind of patriotic kind of theme thing. Same kind of deal on the back. It's about, no greater, I can't even remember the quote now. It's been a long day, but it's basically about laying down your life for your friend. Got a couple of soldiers on the back, one carrying the other one's wounded. That's a great one. That's on Amazon. And I got another one that's it has the full color flag on the front with Sticks-n-Stonez, and then on the back it's got a huge Celtic cross with roses wrapped around it, and not Celtic cross, but a cross, and it's got some bejeweling kind of things on it. Not it's colored, not stuff stuck to it. I'm probably not explaining it right, but anyway, they've tried to say that we think you may have infringed on a copyright. Nope, I have a license. Here's my license. Now I'll put my shirt back up there. So that's what you have to deal with all the time. But anyway, go see all that stuff. Follow me on YouTube and Rumble and X and Instagram and Threads. And I'm on Facebook, even though I don't do a whole lot on Facebook. And until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, stones cold. Have a great day.